Good morning. Hello. Happy Friday. Hello, Xanax. How are you doing today? I'm trying a new thing with the YouTube restream today. I did the schedule thing this morning. But I have no idea if that I said that it's gonna start uh at 7, but apparently okay, so it's live and started now. Cool. Does that show that my channel also has another live stream that's starting at 7? I'm now curious about that. Let me see if I can find it. Go to my channel. I don't see. Yeah, I have. Okay, we have one that's watching live right now, and one scheduled for 5 minutes from now, 4 minutes from now. Okay, that's not. It's not necessarily the plan. We'll have to see what happens with that. I'm curious now. But hello, how are you all doing today? It is Friday. Fridays are always nice. I did not get a super amount of sleep last night, so today is gonna be interesting. We're gonna see how we go. Hello, Stacking. How are you doing today? YouTube UI is awful. They mark old streams as live. That tripped me up a few times. Yeah, it is shocking how so I did live streams on YouTube before Twitch, and then I switched over to Twitch on community recommendations, and the experience is just insanely better, for on every front except discoverability, right? There's just more people on YouTube. That's just the truth of it, especially for development. Everything else is better on Twitch. So there's that. All right, okay, so I started Docker, but I need to get this going. In my tiredness out, I set up my I'm live on Twitch and YouTube message, and then I just hit return. I'm like, okay, well, I could delete the message, or I could just lean with it. So I just leaned with it and pressed the go live button on stream. So that was fun. Okay, so we'll do DB stuff. This is not a trunk thing. This is a Docker thing. I may not need the LMS today, so we'll just keep it with this. Oh, you can't see anything what I'm doing. That's not a good thing. Why you do this? Where's oh, there it is. There we go. Much better. Otherwise, it would have just been another black screen while I'm doing all sorts of coding and other fun stuff. So we don't want that. Okay, so we got you going here. We can load up you here. And what we wanted to do is get it so we can do drag and drop on the data table if we want to. I believe so. We have drag over here, and then now we got that, which is fun. Now it's dragging over because it's getting, okay, so it's getting the target. So on drag over, we do that. which is unfortunate. So what I need to do is, okay, I can get the target element. Can I get the target parent? I can't do that. How about, ooh, can I do event? Range parent? What's that? No, I don't think that's what I want. Ooh, I can get parent element. Okay, so if I get the parent element, which is an option element, okay. Then add the class, add the class to target parent. Okay, so if I do this now, yeah, now it's for the entire line. Oh, perfect. Okay. That's good. I also want to do this only if it's not our current parent. Okay, so it's after 7. Can I, how do I refresh? Refreshing my page is surprisingly hard. Okay, so the YouTube app still says that I'm scheduled for 7 a.m. Cool. That's nice. If I click into it, it's waiting for me. Great. Okay. How do I delete it? Because that's not helpful in any way whatsoever. Okay, so if I go into Studio, content, live. Oh, those are like previous lives. They're not showing like the current scheduled or, okay, that's not helpful. Okay, so the YouTube Studio app is useless in this case. Let me try the normal YouTube Studio, the web YouTube Studio. Okay, right, so we have live now, and we have upcoming. I want to delete forever. Yes, I understand. So the schedule stream with restream won't work. I'm a little bit sad about that. I sort of figured that restream would just send it straight on through to the appropriate thing at the same time. But that's not really what's happening. Okay, so it's going to take a while to delete that. In the meantime, I can come to this one and is there anything that I want to do to it? Oh, did it actually, so is that watermark really straight over me? That doesn't seem, no, okay, it's not. Preview is showing a giant watermark over my face, and when I actually look at the stream, it's not there. That's weird. Let's see. I don't have. Okay. All of that stuff is set up. Okay, so the stream should be good on YouTube. All right, so we're good to go. Let's do it. So, continuing on. I want to now not have I want to not have the little drop target show up on the same one that I'm on. Which means I need to figure out the target parent, what ID they have, which, okay, so we can get that. So this would be target parent. Okay, so get attribute, we want a data dash ID. Here an option. Not exactly that. That. Okay, so now I have the target parent ID, and then we can check to see if the current ID that we're on, okay, so the current ID that we're getting, so we need to get that next. Now, oh, data transfer. So I get the data transfer. Okay, so can I do let ID equals if let sum? We have our data transfer. I can't check there because this is not JavaScript. Okay, so if we get into else because it's none, we want to return because there's nothing here. Brooks, please don't take it as an insult, but why you don't program front end using normal JS, HTML, or framework? I mean, is this better? So I do that for my day job. Absolutely. I am doing this. So I do front end stuff in Rust here because it's a combination of fun, and then also there is a demand for it, and there's not that many tutorials or anything else for it. So it's basically a combination of like fun, I want to learn it, and also a business decision. So yeah, combination of those things. And then backend is one of those things where backend is one of those things where we like Rust actually is really good with that because it's super fast, low energy requirements, all that stuff is actually something that companies do care about. So is actually being used a lot more than front end. But like Leptos might change that game because it's fast, like really, 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 really fast. And you get to basically have all the fun parts of a front end, like single page application, with server side rendering at almost native JavaScript speeds. And then if you get if they start doing some other like really cool stuff behind the scenes, that might even become faster. Like that's pretty good. Sitsu, hello. I think we have different definitions of fun. Yeah, I don't doubt. Like to me, it's a puzzle, but it's not like I do that. Like I go home and like, or I guess I'm always home. It's not like I after this like sitting there like, okay, let me do more like web type stuff. It's more like, okay, I'll play games when I'm off stream or something like that. But with you all, we're doing this. Okay, so I get the data transfer, and then the data transfer, I want to get that, right? So I want the ID is equal to the data transfer. What can I do? So we have dine into, isn't there like a get data? Oh, and the format, which the format was up here. Now we can go full meta and play a game about programming. We've done that on stream a long time ago. Were any of you here when I played? Oh geez, this was before Rust, I believe. What did we play? We played. There's a game that you play and you're programming assembly in little CPU nodes. I forget what it's called. And like the manual for the game, which you have to look up because of all this stuff, is an actual manual for a fake sort of like CPU architecture created for this game. It's a fun game and it's like work. Okay, so I get that. Okay, so you're gonna be a result this time. So let ID equals then an if let. Oh, we're gonna have to match you. So I don't even need this at all. We're just going to return the ID straight up from here. So if it's an okay, we're going to get the ID. We're going to return the ID. If it's an error, we're going to get the error out. No, not Grasshopper. I'd have to look it up. I'd have to remember what it's called. I do have Steam up on the other computer, but there's so many things in here. I don't remember what the first letter is, so I can't like do like a binary search to like find it. I do have a bunch of programming games though, because like those feel like interesting to me, and it's less of it being like the super fun thing that I want to do to relax, and more of a I really enjoy looking at alternate educational type stuff where you're like, okay, let me keep up my skills, and at the same time we're gonna work on this stuff. And I'm not talking about Screeps. Screeps we've done more recently with coding, and that works. That's actually really good too. I want to go back to that when we have time, and we'll do we'll see if I can get onto like the top 100 or something like that with some of those. Okay, a really quick search through. I didn't see it. I know I own it, So it's just more of take time to find it. Shenzhen, or I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Shenzhen IO is the one you played, but they have a large bundle. Yeah, I own that one too, and I played like the first couple levels of it. Oh wait, that found it. TIS 100. TIS 100. Which is also just a game by Zachtronics. So like basically all the Zachtronics games are programming games, if you think about it and you squint for some of them. But like they're all sort of like in there with that logic training thing, which is good. Twisted Seed, hello, how are you doing today? Okay, so this is going to return out, and we're going to get the ID here. So, okay, there's the ID. This is the ID of the data transfer stuff. And then we have the ID. We have the target parent ID, which is also a string. So we can compare them together and we say, if the target parent ID, the target parent ID is equal, I guess like it has to be if not equal to the parent ID. No, ID. Then we do this stuff. And that's it. And you're really upset. Okay, syntax error. Is this an else? If let else. Okay, that was it. That's what we needed. So now and that doesn't show up over there. Perfect. Okay, we're doing good. Oh, okay. I missed that thing. It's Itsu. I'd absolutely use Rust, but I prefer an entirely different approach. Yeah, I'm curious. What is your approach? Also, Chantilly, hello. How are you doing today? My approach to web development is progressive enhancement. What exactly does that mean to you? Because I can think of like a definition for me of what that means. I don't know if that's the same for you or everybody else. Okay, so we did that one. Now I want to, okay, so that's on drag over. On drag leave, which I think this is also a drag event. Am I drinking some healthy shake? Not really a shake. It's wheatgrass juice. That's what I'm in the morning when you see me drink that, it's that's what you see. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't turn invisible because it is green, but it's a very, very dark green, so maybe that's why. If I like held up to the light, maybe it would be more invisible. It's my morning, sort of like morning drink to help like wake up. It works surprisingly well. but I don't get the fresh stuff. I get powdered. So I can just add it to water. Let's see. Okay, so on drag link, callback event, drag event. Okay, so I want to remove that class. So we need the element. So we need the target first, right? Want to keep on forgetting, you're going to be wrapped in the sum. Okay, so we got there. You would build something that works without JavaScript enabled in the browser. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. So, I mean, there are ways to do that with Rust, right? Like you could use like you could just render HTML and then just send that to the front end. All these front end frameworks support SSR, but that is mainly for hydration, and the intent is that the frameworks is loaded later. Yeah, I guess it also depends if we're talking about a web application or a website. Because if we're application, like most people that are like understanding that they're loading an app in their browser are going to be like okay with JavaScript. Websites, I can see some people like, you know what? I just want this to be fast. Let's turn off let's turn off everything we don't need. Let's see. So on drag leave. Okay, so I do that. Okay, so we got the event target. Now I want to get the parent, which I could just steal that from up here. Okay, so let some target parent equals, okay, so this was target. Oh, I need to turn this into an element. Unchecked into, we can just make this an element. Okay, now we can get the target parent, and then finally we can just remove the class, which I think just works. So if, I think this is a result, right? So if well, let's just do it and we'll figure it out. So we'll have target parent dot class list. We'll remove one, and we want to remove drop target. You return, yeah, you return a result. So okay, so if let an error, we have this. I just want to error. Okay. What are you upset about? Because no semicolon. That's why. Okay. There's good. I think that distinction makes sense, but too many people try to write their website as a web application. True. Very true. For example, I would classify this LMS as a website and not a web application. Interesting. Okay. I would, well, I classify it as a web application in my mind, but only because I have some features I want to add to it that are going to be interactive live while going through the course, and that I think is what turns it into a web app. But of course I don't have them yet. So like until then, yeah, I could see that. It's definitely more of a website as of right now. But I want to add the ability to render. Oh, for you, interactivity is something to progressively enhance with. Ah, I see. Okay, okay. Yeah, I could see that. I do want to play around with some of the other tools. Like I haven't really done much server-side rendering in my career. I did, because like I came onto the scene right when Angular was getting really big. And so it was like, okay, everybody's teaching us that. I guess we're going with that one. And I did a little bit of server-side rendering. And then that was like just plain HTML and CSS. No need for JavaScript on the front end. It was all that logic was in the back end. But then I didn't really, so I missed everything else. Then of course I did PHP back when I was a sysadmin, and that made me very hesitant about server side a lot of stuff with web. But that's just because, you know, PHP. Is it on drag leave? I think on drag leave equals on drag leave clone. Okay, let's see if you're happy. You are happy so far. So now, yeah, look at that. Okay, on drag drop. Oh, okay, so on drag drop, I need to do the exact same thing. Okay, that's fun. Yeah, there was a golden age for on the development side. Maybe not golden age. There was a period of time where cell phones didn't have web browsers that like anybody used on them. Like there were less than like a tenth of a percent of users. And it's like, okay, this is great. Everybody, and the internet speeds were getting good. So it's like, okay, everybody has desktops. Everybody is using one of the, you know, 3 browsers, and everybody has good internet. We are set. Put everything on just load up everything into the browser. And now we're seeing like with so like cell phones, it's like, okay, we're back to the old days where internet's bad. We're back to the days where like you don't have much space on your drive. We have to worry about battery life. And it's like, okay, we're it's not really regressing, because it's more of like, oh, okay, we need all those lessons that we learned. We probably shouldn't have thrown them away, because kind of important to go back to it. You buy a sidekick with your first real paycheck. You remember them awful days. Oh, I never had a sidekick. I barely remember what they look like anymore. I remember like I had friends that had one, and they never let me use it. And that is important for accessibility, because if you assume everyone can interact the same way, then you limit your audience. Yes, very true. Very true. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed. And it's one of the reasons why, like, I might one day rewrite all the stuff in Leptos, or what other framework has come up, by the time that we're ready for that. Because I could imagine wanting to do a lot more server-side rendering and switching the paradigm to like maybe smaller snippets to go up, because that's going to be faster experience for you all. Right now it's decently okay, but it's a fairly heavy initial load, which is that's not a great experience. Okay, we're doing on drag, on drop. Now, I don't think I want to prevent default on drop. I think that what I want to do right now is just essentially do this. Get the target, turn it into an element, get the parent, and then remove the class. This is what I want to do. Exactly what I have in there. And then we're going to add you, so on drop gets added to here. So now, boom, disappears, and okay, perfect. Okay, so we're good with that. So then I think the last big thing would be I want to emit out the new list, essentially the new order of these IDs. It's either going to be the new order, or you need to, because we don't know what, like, okay, so for the table I need to know, oh, I could do the new index of where this ID is going to. That might work, because let's see. You're just a vec, right? So I can do the new index. So we're going to do a pub. This is going to be on drop. So I want the ID. I guess I want the ID and the index of where it went to. So you're going to be a callback. ID, we could do a tuple for that, or I can create a named, it might be good for me to create it like a named struct. It's gonna be a BB table row drop or something like that. So table drop. We have a pub. Okay, so the ID of what's being dropped. So the ID is an attribute value. And then I want a index, which is going to be a usize. So BB table drop. Now I do have to figure out where it's going, don't I? Oh, but I know where it's going, right? Because we are currently over the target element. And so we have the target parent, and then I can get the ID from that. That's what I want. But then I have to find it within that that list. Okay. So, okay, first things first. Let's get the ID off of the target parent. Okay, so I have the parent ID. I suppose we can just do a log. So we'll start with this, right? So we'll have oh, we haven't even gotten out of the data stuff yet. So we'll have parent ID. So parent ID is going to be parent ID. Oh. And I want to make you not required. That way everything will just work. Okay, parent ID is 2. Parent ID is 3. And I dropped it right on myself. Okay. Perfect so far. If I do a search and then I drag and drop. Ooh, so that's going to be interesting. If I do a search and then I drag and drop. So if I do equal X, parent ID is 3. So that kind of still works. And I want it above that. The table itself doesn't know if I'm searching. That's the data table that knows if I'm doing that. I almost feel like I want to stick with here. We'll probably do this style here. Okay, and let's see. So we have our on drop. Now I need the new order of elements, which I'm just going to go right above the element in the original list. So I need to clone the original list, which that is because it could be, because technically I could search for this and then have like a subset of lists going into this this table. We're just gonna drop the item before, right? So the index, this is almost like new index. So move ID to new index there. That's what I want to put it in. So it's it's not really replacing because we're going to shift everything out, but at least we now know where that goes. Okay, so and you know what? We could just do, instead of new index, we could just say I want to replace, so ID dropped on. So dropped on is also an attribute. Okay, we do 2 attribute values there. I like this a little bit more because that way, regardless of what the state of the data is, we know we're not assuming anything. So we just say, hey, we're taking ID and we're dropping on this dropped on ID. We're dropping on that ID. Okay, so then that's pretty simple. So here we have the parent ID, and then we need our own ID, which we can get with our data thing. So we have to get this data here, which is fun. Okay, so now we have our ID. So we have parent ID. Okay, and so I want to emit out after all of this is done. So assuming that this all works. Let's emit out, which means I need to get the thingy. So props on drop. Okay, so we're gonna emit a BB table drop. We have our IDs. This can be an attribute value. Actually, no, I don't have to do a from, do I? I can just do an into. So we have ID into, and dropped on ID is going to be the target, the parent ID into. Okay, so that goes there, which means I can now go to data tables. Okay, so this is going to be the on drop, the like drop data. And I want to, okay, so this is a table row dropped. Okay, so that table I don't care about. We have drag true, and then we have on drop. No field on drop. What? Wait. Yeah, pub on drop. Oh, because it's a data table. Okay. Because it's a data table. Okay, you need to take here. And we just pass that on through. The trait bound JS value from oh, because this is a log. I have to turn this into, okay, so JS value, oh, that's yeah. Well, I guess we'll format it. Okay, let's see if this works. I want to now table drop. So I dropped 1, which is this one, on 2. So I can drop 1 on 3. I can drop 3 on 1, 3 on 2. I can search for U, and that's still telling me which ones I'm dropping on. Because I can't like mouse focus in here and like type in and then search. I can't like be dragging and search for it at the same time. I don't have, let's see. Can I do touch events with this? Yes, touch. Okay. So can I do? No. Okay. So I can't do drag and drop via touch. This is only for me right now, so I'll have to be okay with that until I figure out something better. I think this is the reason why so many web apps use like the little hamburger icon for the drag and drop. Because then you can basically say like, hey, on touch here, start dragging. But okay, I'm happy with this. I'm happy you don't have to take design decisions from like the NFL app, because that feels like that's not a good decision. Before progressive enhancement, you have a weight field. Before progressive enhancement? I don't remember a weight field. Is that something? You don't love the long list of tables that don't tell you what the hell you're moving to? What? I mean, what's the problem of that? I guess I probably should tell it what table I'm moving to, shouldn't I? Because technically, oh, I can't drag here, but I can technically drag. Oh wait, I can technically drag from here to up here. Oh, but it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything for me. I mean, on the NFL app when switching players, yeah, it does make it interesting. It does make it interesting. I did realize that they had a design decision for you can drag, which is really weird. And then they clearly realized that was really weird and didn't work very well. And so they made it so you can click on the thing that you normally drag on, and that turns it into a select element that then now you can go click on something else to replace it with. And it's like, okay, that's good design because I understand what's going to happen. It's bad design because they should just like choose one and not the other. like make that element not be two things now. So that's fun. Okay. So if I do this, I should now, this should be relatively shippable as it is. And then we can update our parent code to sort of deal with it. All right. So first of all, we have a lot of warnings. So we need to deal with all of those. Search values checkboxes. This is in, oh, component data table, because, oh, no. Why am I doing search values checkboxes? Oh, right. Because we moved the checkboxes to the parent. So you don't, yeah, we don't need you anymore. Okay, so you're good here. Okay, we're good here. Okay, so we're not using this error. Let's fix that. Okay, we got all these things. We're happy here. So there's no more errors, no more warnings. I want to do a search for log. And I want to remove all the logs because, oh, if debug. Oh, because like I had this debug thing where I can pass into like, hey, debugs. There's a pattern I was playing around with. I kind of want to switch this to maybe an info. Yeah, can't. Isn't there a glue log info? No, you're okay. That's. So there's a log. There's an error. There's a warning. There's an info. Okay. Unexpected. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. That would do it. Now, can I replace qualified path with the use statement? There we go. Unused imports. Okay, so, oh, X turns info. No wonder it was confused. Okay, there's that fun problem. Does the info macro do its own formatting without format? So yes, the problem there, and the reason why I need to use format is because I get a JS value, and a JS value doesn't implement display. Neither does it implement a debug version that also implements display. So therefore I have to but I can use format to turn it into a string because that works for reasons. So I format it into a string, and then it's fun. Okay, let's continue with our log. So debug, we want to replace this with a that's not the right info. I want an info with a, is it the right info? It might be this one. Okay. That is the right info. Okay, so let's keep on searching for log and then removing those. On click purchase. Oh, this is the pages. Okay, so pages are okay, but again, I just want to make sure I don't have any infos. So that's why I'm doing, sorry. That's why I'm doing the removing all the logs, so I can just do a global search for logs. I'm like, okay, I can use this for debug purposes and then remove them. And we're good to go there. Togglebit, welcome. Also, raid and run. So, hello. How's Togglebit stream? Also, thank you, Toggle. Hopefully that you had a great stream and you have a great rest of your day. Diablo D3, hello. Winter Coding, hello. And Mod Prague, hello. How are you all doing today? And then also everybody else, welcome. Mod, typical Toggle asks me a question and then runs before reading my answer. Oh no! I'm sorry about that. I mean, if you want, I could read the answer. It won't have any context, so it'll be very confusing, but I could try. Danaka, hello. I don't know. He joined. He got sad about not having sweets, and then he left. Well, that is a valid reason to end the stream, right? Like, if you run out of sweets and snacks, it's over. All right, everybody. Hopefully you're having a great day. We are working on web development stuff in Rust. So we're working with Yew.rs. We've been building a feature of let's turn off mobile mode. We've been working on a data table. So we previously had a table, and we've been creating for the last couple of days a data table that sort of wraps around it. So we have search functionality working, we have slots working. So if you're familiar with like web dev with like Vue, for example, and how slots work, we can now inject sort of like a column in with parent code, and that we know exactly what's going on. So we can basically see what happens when it happens, which is awesome. And then also we added drag and drop capabilities to it, so I can reorder things and find out that like, hey, I wanted to like, change SQLX to be, above Rust or something like that. I could do that. Scott, you have sweets. 1.5 pounds enough for everyone? That's a little much. That's a lot. What is Kitty staring at? Oh, Kitty's name is Zilby, and what is he staring at? He's doing that thing where he's staring into space because he's bored out of his mind, and he wants me to go play with him, and I'm not playing with him. But if I were to like say his name, you probably like can see like his ears go back and it's like, ooh, 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 are we gonna do something? Are we gonna do something fun? And the answer is after stream. I'll go and play with him a little bit. Let's see. You quit eating all sweets. I do try to not eat as much sugar these days, which has been leaving me feeling a lot better. So I'm right there with you, Diablo. You're really looking forward to the variation of Haribo sweets once you're back in Germany. So I've never been to any of the European countries. I assume that there's some really good candies there that if I go and visit, I would have to try out. If I ever do a trip like that, I'll have to ask all of you guys so I can do something. Can I get attention? No, I'm gonna sit near a keyboard. He doesn't necessarily like the keyboard. Where are you going, Zilby? Okay, well, he decided hanging around wasn't right. I think he heard my wife upstairs, so he's gonna go and hang out with her. Let's see. Which also Inest, because I can't read the first part. So Inest, is that correct? Hello, welcome. How are you doing today? Which keyboard model do I use? I use the Kinesis Freestyle Pro split keyboard. It's I should probably like create like a link or something like that. I have a lot of the Kinesis keyboards. This is one of my favorite ones so far. It is a mechanical keyboard. It's not a gaming keyboard. They do have a gaming sort of split keyboard too. I didn't like that quite as much, but I didn't like try anything with it because it's also mechanical and theoretically I can just take off all the keys and replace them with something else. I haven't tried that. But I like this one a lot. All right, so I am currently moving through the code here. So this is all Yew.rs. If you're familiar with React and you know a little bit of Rust, you pretty much know Yew at that point in time. Just a little bit of syntax differences and also Rustification of stuff. But it's pretty much like it's very similar to React. Yew is. So right now I just finished a big feature and I'm looking for all my logs because I want to remove them and replace them with infos or just completely remove them all together so that way I don't like pollute my production environment with a bunch of logs if I don't need to. Gaming keyboards suck. They're worse at gaming, ironically. I tend to agree. I've not really found a gaming keyboard that I really like. Okay, so this is on text area, submit. So, okay, this is the prototype pages. So I actually want to see this. So we're going to make this an info. So all the prototypes ones are never going to be used in their main app, so I'm okay with making these infos. Let's see. Scott, I would like your keyboard. It's a Faker Alice 80. I do not know that name. Let me search for that. Oh, it's one of those split. Okay. Do you have like the links that are coming up are for like eBay or What Geek? Who makes, oh, is it Epo Maker or Epo Maker? Is this it? Ah, okay. This isn't, yeah, okay. So the split keyboard I have is very split. So it's got like a wire. It's got a wire between them, and I put my microphone between the keyboard. So basically, like my hands at this is the width of the keys away from each other, which is really nice because it helps like keep the shoulders like more separate, so I don't like hunch over and do that, which is not good for us, especially for like programming and on the keyboard all day long. These are nice too because like they rotate your wrists out. I kind of wish, and I really like the ones that like are both, right? Where they split and doing that. That's really nice. And I have a Kinesis keyboard that I'm not using right now that kind of does that. So, and it's also mechanical. Now there's lots of good linear switches. High-end gamer mechanical keyboards use them. That makes sense. That makes sense. I bet like but then if they're branded as a gaming keyboard, they're going to be able to just charge more because they figure you have a lot of money. The price for this is nice. What is that? Oh, it's a pre-order. Oh yeah, that's not too bad for a mechanical keyboard. And free standard shipping to most countries, which is nice. So here, if anybody is interested in this, there is that. You like that the Faker Alice 80 doubles up the B key? Oh, I didn't even notice that. Interesting. That might mess me up a little bit. My current split keyboard has B only on left, that's what I have too. Only on the left. Double the price at RGB's new gamer key. Also, hello, Uncle Scientist. How are you doing today? Okay, so this is still prototypes. Okay, but this is Elements button. No, I do have this thing on debug, but I want to at least turn this into an info still. Okay, so what are you? You are, okay, Elements table. So this is the thing that we were just working on. When I move row, okay, so I don't actually want to log over everything. So I want something like that, where we just have the HTML that we're returning. But this is a prototype again, so you're fine. You've been thinking of going for a 36 key split to help with wrist pain, but you just can't work up the courage to try and learn it right this second. So the split for me wasn't really hard to learn. There is one that they changed some of the keys around, specifically like where the semicolon is and where some other things are. That keyboard is much harder to use, but still like okay. I don't know. I sometimes feel that like keyboards for are just like giant controllers, and like my mental model is like, hey, we play different games with complex controls, and like we're pretty good at like switching back and forth from different games, and not having too much of a hard time learning the new controls. So it's like, okay, if I just think of it like that, then it's not that bad. I will just eventually get used to it and it'll be fine. And then I do. The trick is 36 keys, so every key has 3 layers. So if you press it twice, you get the number. Then 3 is the symbols. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Continuing on with this. Banners. Okay, so you're... All right, this is... Oh, prototypes again. So, info. Elements. Checkbox. Yeah, we don't... Nope. We don't want you. So you're gone. Okay, so I think that's... All the logs are gone. So we have warnings again. Oh, games are why you don't build a split. None of them have F keys hidden behind layers. So, I mean, I guess that's one of the nice things about the Kinesis is that their splits do have function keys. They do have the F keys. And they also have an FN key, so I can like do things on top of that. But yeah, that is nice. Okay, so elements checkbox, I'm emitting out, so I don't actually care what this event is. All right, so you are yelling at me because constant items should have snake uppercase. Are you also gonna have the problem up here where you're yelling at me because of no, okay. We allow non-camel case types. And you're saying, okay, constant items should have upper snake case. So something about the this must be the macro doing this. So like what, snake uppercase? What was this again? Oh, non-uppercase globals. There we go. Oh, unused attribute. Okay, so fine. We will... do that. That should make you happy. It has a cooldown period, so you set in a firmware, you can set it to like 300 milliseconds. Then, oh, okay. So basically you can type JJJ and it comes out as like J3%, or you can like update it. Interesting. That would be more for me to get used to. Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's not that you press JJJ. It's that if you bottom out, on the J. That's what you're saying, right? Like if you bottom out, like each level of how hard you press does different things. It'd kill you in games. That would be fun. That would be like hilarious to do in like a game tournament. Like just do an online tournament where like, okay, everybody's going to use one of these special keyboards. If you press too hard or too fast, you're dead. It's like you don't move for a while. And it's like, okay, how calm can you be? Like how like smooth and calm can you be while playing this game? He Tap Dancing is what they did in the Ready, Willing, and Able movie. I don't think I ever watched that movie. I think we're done. So we got rid of all the logs, and I can't find any warnings or any elements or anything else like that. So I should probably double check that this still works. So I can still drag. I get these infos out. So that's good. Okay. Now you're showing this, you are showing these here, and I don't necessarily want that on that table, only in the data table. Oh, it's an oldie. I will. Oh, I see. I see. Can we, let's see. No, that didn't work. How do I? Oh, okay. I've watched long enough. There's like, okay, I get it now. It's a, literally tap dancing on a typewriter, which those are not moving at the right rate, but okay. That's pretty cool. Picky, yeah, I know. My realism in giant keyboards made out of people. Okay, so I want to deploy this now. We touched a lot of files. Okay, so what is this? We basically we finished. We removed console logs and finished data table for now. So okay, then I want to get a PR. Great. Okay, so this is going to be drag and drop. I don't think I have any. Yeah, I don't have any GitHub actions for this repo, so this is going to be fine. Oh, you always forget the toy store that closed at Times Square. I think I went to that as a kid once before they closed. It was really big. It was absolutely huge. It was like 3 stories, if I remember correctly. But I hadn't watched enough things to have any like, oh man, I'm in this like famous toy store. My parents though, they were like this is amazing. This is like the story we've seen like in every movie that like features New York. FAO Schwartz. Yes, I remember. Okay, I remember the name. Yeah. FAO Schwartz. And it was a big deal when it closed down. Okay, so I created the PR. Let's get a PR, merge that in. Okay, so we're back on the main. We have everything here looking good. And this is our new, that's that, which means I can now come over here. This is Vue component library. This is going to be the LMS. Nope, don't want to create a new tab. I want to create a new pane. Okay, so we're going to use, oh wait, I don't have to use local. We've updated it. So we change you to the most recently deployed one. Just watch the movie Big with Tom Hanks and you'll see it. I have not also watched that movie either. I'm not a huge movie and TV person. So there's a lot of things that I don't watch. Which like every time I work with people, they always like stare at me like I'm insane. Okay, so if I do that, you're really unhappy. That's not great. Oh, because I changed how tables work. So now, okay, so tags. So we have to update tags. I'm not insane. I mean, I'm mostly insane. Although that's not an appropriate thing to say, because like it's not really inclusive, is it? So it's I am very strange according to all my coworkers, because I don't watch TV and I don't watch, like I rarely watch TV and movies. Okay, that makes more sense. Hopefully that's not your password. A lot of like Windows things, like I do that. I still do that every once in a while. Just trying to edit today's stream for YouTube. Oh, okay. That makes, oh, are you working on Advent of Code again? I guess it would make sense, right? It's getting close. You're warming up with 2018. Nice. You're streaming coding on Twitch. You're on one of the spectrums. Some spectrum somewhere. We don't know which one it is or what it means, but I'm on that. I could take that. Okay, so no field values, right? So BB table, you changed. Now it's titles and rows. It's titles and rows, and of course, my alarm just went off. So I don't know if I want to actually start updating this, but we can keep this open. So this. So the table no longer takes values, but 2 vectors of titles and rows. I guess like we already have titles, right? So a vector of rows. And then what does that look like? That's a BB table row. So a vector of row. So a BB table row. Okay, so there's that. This will be good too for you. And then we'll have to do this. I think this is the only place that we use tables. So that'll be interesting too. So we can actually use a data table for this too. So probably want to switch to a data table anyways, because then we get like search and all that fun stuff, which is good. So I'm going to leave this like that. And then this afternoon, when I come back for, we'll start working on this. Get a data table in here for the tags view, and the tags view, we can show you what that looks like. Okay, you're up. I have to log in, of course. All right, I need to do secret stuff. Oh, I still don't have like a secret thing, like an actual secret thing set up. Let's do big, here, you can go look at the empty place where Zibby is, and we'll look at cat. There, you can look at that. Well, I go find where this is. Okay, there's that. We're back to you. Turn you off. Okay, so here I am as an author on localhost. I can go into my tags, and then this is just the simple table, right? This is the previous table that we had. So what I want to do is, this is for creating it. So we're still gonna have create down here, but then we're gonna show like the existing ones that we have. And so this will be a data table. That way we'll be able to search through it. Eventually I could choose to do pagination if I want to, but that's going to be in the future, so I don't have to worry about it right now. And then, so that's one thing. And then the other thing we want to do is in courses, I want to turn this into a data table over here so I can mark if it's preview or not. So we can basically say, okay, you're assigned, your preview, your all that stuff. Whether or not I get all of that by the end of the day, I don't know. The plan is that on Monday, I'm going to start working on the Axum course again, like full bore, which means that all of this like LMS updates, I'm going to do, these are probably going to be off stream on the weekends that I work on, just sort of like my relaxed coding time, not on stream. And so it'll be like, yeah, they'll slow down, but I think like working on that course, there's a lot of demand for it, and I want to, it's just me. So we'll be working on that. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do actually have like this thing is out here for real. If you want to take a look at the one course that I have right now, we can go to learning. Oh, I'm so zoomed in, it decided I'm on mobile. That's cool. Oh no, we just got here. Who are you gonna raid? Let me know. Who do you want to raid? Otherwise, I'll go and I'll find somebody. I have one course that's available right now, and it's the SQLX Rust. So if you're interested in SQLX and Rust, then check this out. I don't have any of the, you can take a look at what is in here. You sort of just like can see like my style of like how I describe things. Every single one of these has a article and a video associated with it. You don't follow a lot of people on Twitch. That's okay. Let me see if I can find somebody. Let's see, Twitch. All right, so Makesy is doing Bevy, is building a Bevy auto battler. Let's see. Okay, so Makesy's build. Okay, advertisement. Advertisement. I gotta see it for like a second before Twitch is like, nope, you're gonna get some ads. But let's go ahead and set up a raid for Makesy. I don't think we've raided him before, but I think Makesy raided us at one point in time, and I followed. Wait, is it chair stream now? He was literally just on the stream. Okay, I think he chaired stream. He switched to a chair stream. I hope he's gonna be back. He's building a Bevy auto battler. Bevy is an awesome game framework in Rust, so it's all Rust code still. So we're going to raid a chair stream. So I may do this. I'm gonna do the toggle bit thing. I'm gonna leave too, but that's mostly because I have to head off to work and go do my day job. But I'll be back later today. Here's the schedule. I'll be back at 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time for a 2-hour stream. And then we'll continue working on the LMS. So with that, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.